Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5 o'clock on October 4th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. So I've been waiting for this day to come, the day when we have lower temperatures and it feels like fall. But let's go to Kelly McShane for a full weather forecast. Kelly, you're not going to throw any surprises in there for me today, are you?
We are finally going to be cooler, Madison. We're looking at that fall weather finally entering into the mountains. It's going to be feeling pretty nice heading into this afternoon. But to start, where things are a little bit on the warm side still as that front continues to move through. But as far as fall goes, we're not looking at too much outside of the WYMT studio here in Hazard, and there's not too much fog across the region either. Over onto satellite and radar, we are still clear, but we do have a few clouds moving through the region. But overall, we're up to a quiet start once again. And temperatures, a warm start for some, but a little bit cooler for others. We're in the 60s for the most part, 68 in Jackson and Hazard, a little bit cooler into the Cumberland Valley as well as to the north, thanks to that cooler air making its way towards us, and we will still be seeing those nice temperatures heading into this afternoon, and I'll have those details here in just a little bit, Madison.
Thank you, Kelly. That is some good news. Well, Buckhorn Lake Stake Resort Park is teaming up with many community partners to host a first-of-its-kind event at the park this weekend. Float the Horn is an event going on tomorrow at the park, and you can experience canoeing, pontoon rides, music, and dinner. The event is raising money for new playground equipment for the lower shelter at the park. The registration fee for the event is $30. And Broken Throne Brewing is opening its doors this weekend for a sneak peek of the new microbrewing on Pikeville's Main Street. The 12-tap establishment will offer a variety of brews. Those will change throughout the weeks, keeping things experimental. Those involved with the new venture say it is a way to bring a different experience to Pikeville, helping to contribute to the city's mission to become a tourist destination.
So what we've really kind of brought together here is this place where you can kind of lounge around, relax a little bit. It's not that stuffy, uptight type of feel that you may get from some places in larger cities. We want this to be a community place and another place for gathering in the area.
After the sneak peek this weekend, a ticketed soft opening will take place October 17th through the 19th. And Broken Throne will open officially on October 24th. And you can find out more on the company's Facebook page. Well, the city of Hazard is cracking down on property owners. Yesterday, a work crew cleaned up a property on the side of Route 15. City officials are issuing notices to buildings not up to code. Some of these buildings have been under violation for years. They recently tore down a building on Memorial Drive, and owners ignored the citation on this property. City officials say they are doing everything they can to clean up the city and make it more welcoming for new businesses. And the Kentucky Department of Municipal Aid made a visit to Pineville City Hall yesterday. Commissioners with Governor Matt Bevin's office made a funding announcement saying nearly $110,000 was going to the city of Pineville for road resurfacing.
A lot of small towns, rural communities are cash strapped, and we understand that. Governor Bevin understands that, and we're working with these local officials to address their infrastructure needs.
The money will go to resurface West Kentucky Avenue and Alabama Avenue in Pineville. And the drought keeps getting worse. New numbers came out yesterday showing that the majority of southern and eastern Kentucky is in a severe drought, but it's even worse in parts of the Kentucky River region. Almost all of Breathitt County and parts of surrounding counties are now considered in an extreme drought. Only a trace of rain has fallen in Jackson in more than 1 month. And an Eastern Kentucky coal company has filed for bankruptcy. Court documents show Pineville-based Rockhampton Energy filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy earlier this week. It is not clear how many employees are affected, but one person told us they have not worked for weeks. A meeting of creditors is scheduled for November 7th in Corbin. And a medical partnership that has held to drop in ER visits and healthcare costs. WellCare joined with Kentucky Home Place to help those with diabetes and high blood pressure. Attended prevention and disease management courses. WellCare gave $15,000 in gas cards so members could afford to attend the classes. The study showed a 10% drop in trips to the ER, 23% drop in hospital admissions, and a 13% drop in healthcare costs.
It's one thing to offer these courses, but if they don't have reliable transportation or can't afford to drive 20 miles to get to the classes, it's not going to be a worthwhile course.
The classes also covered mental health, first aid, CPR, and other topics. Well, GM employees have spent more than 2 weeks on strike. Now they're getting help to put food on the table. On Thursday, day 18 of the strike, Feeding America brought groceries to the UAW members at the Corvette plant in Bowling Green. They brought meals from an emergency food pantry in Elizabethtown to feed 500 families.
But one of the things we provided today to them was also a list of food pantries and distribution points in the county where they live. We've got a lot of workers that were here today from surrounding counties who need food.
Officials say negotiations between the union and GM are ongoing. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, one business is donating thousands of dollars to the Bahamas for Hurricane Dorian relief, and they didn't have to go far to find the money.
We will be feeling more like fall today here in the mountains, and I'll have your weekend forecast and details on our next rain chance coming up next.